All right, I just finished filming a couple of videos and something came up, and that is storing diesels. So a few months ago, I had this guy message me from the States. He had just imported a Land Cruiser 80 series with the 1H DT engine like I had a few years ago, and I love those cars. And he was having some trouble with it. When he got it running, it would run perfectly, but every morning when he used to start it, or try and start it, it would just refuse to start. He changed the fuel filter, he had it inspected, he went to a specialist diesel mechanic, and they just could not diagnose it. So he reached out to me and he's like, what could be causing this? So I asked him, hey, have you left the car sitting for a while? And he said no. But then immediately he replied that just before he got it, the car had sat in Japan in storage for 5 years, which is a long time. So the trouble is with diesel fuel, it's responsible not just for the combustion and energy built out of your engine, but it's also responsible for lubricating all of the seals in the injector pump and keeping everything running properly. Those seals in the injector pump need to stay nice and supple so that there's no leaks. What happens if you leave a turbo diesel, or any diesel, just out of habit I keep saying turbo diesel, what happens is if you leave a diesel sitting around for months and months and months, even years, that fuel goes bad and those seals that are meant to stay nice and supple, they dry out. And what happens is it starts to A, leak fuel, and B, let air in. And you should know this if you own a turbo diesel. I keep saying turbo diesel. You should know this if you own a diesel, that they do not like air in the system. Hence, if you run out of fuel, you got to bleed the system out. If you change the fuel filter, you got to bleed it. And if you store it and that injection pump goes bad, the seals start to dry out because of bad fuel, well, it's going to let air in, and you can't really bleed the injection pump. The way to fix that, if something goes wrong, is to rebuild the injector pump, and that can cost in excess of $2,000. So it's a pretty hefty bill to come back to if you've left your car sitting for a while. So how do you fix it? How do you get around it? The same as any petrol engine. You have to use a fuel system conditioner and cleaner. I think you call them fuel stabilisers in the Northern Hemisphere. Now let me show you the one that I use. So what the fuel system stabiliser does is it prolongs the life of the fuel. Generally, it will increase the cetane rating on a diesel, and it has additives inside that ensure rubber seals and gaskets specifically formulated for injector pumps stay nice and supple. So what I have is this here. This one is made by Liquimoly. It's called Diesel Clean and Boost. This is a 1 litre can, and each capful treats 70 litres. So I run this in my car sort of every second fuel fill up that I do, not every single one. I mean, my car doesn't go into storage, but that there holds 70 millilitres. And I have a 70 litre tank, so 1 capful per tank. If you're storing your car, you absolutely want to put some of this in, then go and fill your car up full of diesel, and then drive it back so that it circulates throughout the entire system. By using something like this, plus a full tank of fresh diesel, your diesel engine should be able to sit for up to a year before that injector pump gets any damage to the seals. If you do have to store your diesel for any amount of time, absolutely use something like this, or just a fuel system stabilizer, or a fuel system cleaner or conditioner that's specific to diesels. You don't want to just put a petrol injector cleaner in, because it won't do anything for your diesel injection pump. Okay, hope that helps. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.